Congratulations, Rachel. You have been voted by the HerSport community as the HerSport Athlete of the Year, sponsored by Revive Active.
Such an honour, to be honest. Like, for the year that was for women's sport, to be recognised with awards is just incredible. So thank you everyone who voted.
For you, like, it was such an incredible sporting year and so many phenomenal achievements. Is there any one moment that stands out, or is it too hard to pick?
Yeah, look, it was an incredible year. I'm very lucky to be getting to ride a lot of very good horses, but I think, you know, the Grand National on Minella Times was the standout moment. It was just that feeling crossing the line. Like, I don't think I'll ever be able to emulate that again. It was just incredible. And you know, it's a race with such history, and you know, you really feel part of that history now.
With you know, starting off your journey, like the goals that you had, you know, from a child, did you ever think that you'd get to the heights that you've gotten to now?
No, definitely not. Like, I always wanted to ride as a jockey, but I could never envisage that I'd make a career out of it, you know, let alone ride winners in Cheltenham and Aintree Grand National. Like, it's taken a path I never thought would be even possible. So yeah, as I said, like, I just feel incredibly lucky to get to ride the horses I get to ride. I'm associated with a lot of very good trainers, and you know, I'm in a very good position, and at the same time you're just hoping to keep yourself in that position.
In terms of like the documentary, you had a grand year, and we've seen you on the television with the different awards ceremonies, and now you're going to be on television again with the HerSport Awards. How do you deal with all the recognition? Because, you know, with the success that you're having, like, you're obviously out there more, and that adds extra to what you're doing in your day-to-day life. Yeah,
look, definitely. You know, but you know, I just try and think of it as a privilege, I suppose. You know, a lot of people would love to be in my position, and you know, with that comes extra things you have to do, or you know, yeah, so it's a privilege, I suppose.
You had a really memorable quote in 2021 after winning Aintree. So you said, "I don't feel male or female, I don't even feel human." Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it just came out of me. Like, you'd often you know, you'd be thinking before big races, like, oh, I wonder what it would be like to win, and you'd be kind of thinking about what you might say. Like, that just all completely goes out the window. Like, I don't know really where that came from. Like, I suppose it was quite a historic moment for female riders. You know, it was the first female to win the Grand National, so it was an historic moment in that sense. But like, for me, I think the fact that I was able to cross the line in the Grand National and not be hit by that fact, like, I was just thrilled I was a jockey to have won it, and I think that's massively down to all the women who've gone before me to put in the parameters that made me feel like that when I crossed the line. So you know, there's been a lot gone on all through history to put me into that position, and you know, I'm very proud of all those women to have done that.
Absolutely. Like, when it comes to, you know, women in sport, a lot of people want to just be considered an athlete, and we hear a lot about, you know, different women achieving different things, and whether it's from an athlete perspective or whether it's in broadcasting or media. How do you think we can move away from that?
I think I personally am lucky in my sport, in horse racing, as a jockey. You know, it is at a stage now where it's completely equal if you're good enough and you put in the work. You know, male or female, that's kind of gone out the window now, that issue. You know, achievements of Nina Carby and Katie Walsh in recent times, you know, really got rid of that. And you know, Holly Doyle over in England is doing incredible as well. So look, how do you get rid of it? I don't know. I think you just keep going forward, and you keep you know, producing the results, and that's all that one can do.
Did you ever find it intimidating racing against boys or men, or you grew up around it and didn't notice?
Yeah, I didn't notice. Like, from day one when I went into pony camp, you know, there isn't a divide, I suppose. You know, it's you ride horses and you're all riders, so there was never an issue from day one, so that never carried through for me.
You spend a lot of time kind of engaging with your young fans, which is, you know, something that obviously really means a lot to them. Why is it important to you?
I think you know, I remember when I was a kid, I used to love getting posts. Like, it was just a really fun thing to get. So like if a kid, you know, takes the time out to write a letter, like, I'll try my best to get back to it. You know, it might take a few weeks, but I do get back to all of them, because I think it's you know, it's a pretty cool thing to get a letter back from someone when you've gone to the effort of writing it. And you know, it's fantastic for our industry, I suppose, to have so many young people now interested in it. And you know, you're just trying to encourage that. And like, you know, they're usually saying well done, so you know, you're just writing back to say thanks.
Yeah, and nice letters to receive, and certainly from their side of things, like, as a role model for them, they'd be thrilled to receive something back for you. And you know, not a lot of people take that time to do it, so you know, credit where credit is due on your side to put that effort in as well.
Yeah, look, it's you know, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who are getting too many letters to reply to, but mine are a manageable number to send replies to, so yeah, I'm happy to do it.
Drive and passion has, you know, gotten you to where you are at the moment, so how do you stay motivated when you're doing so well?
Mainly because racing pulls you back down to earth straight away. You know, you ride an Aintree, we'll say, and you know, a few days later you're back in Ireland. You know, I think we were racing in Ballinrobe maybe on the Tuesday or the Wednesday, and you know, you're straight back in at it again. You're straight back to not winning. You know, that's just part of what we do. I suppose we, as jockeys, we lose a lot more than we win. So you're always brought back down to earth in this sport, and yeah, you're well used to feeling that.
With Honeysuckle, it's been some relationship. When it comes to a jockey's success, in your opinion, is it down to the talent of the jockey or finding a good relationship with a horse?
It's, to be honest, it's down to the horse. You know, it's essentially, as a jockey, you're trying to get on the best horses. You know, the best horse wins the race, you know, 95% of the time, and I'm very lucky that I get to ride some of the best horses in the country at the moment. But there's a lot of extremely talented jockeys who just aren't on the right horses, and that's what it comes down to, really. You know, as a jockey, you can make tactical decisions in a race that may change the outcome, but a lot of the time the best horse will win the race.
When you were younger, you were interested in being a vet and kind of looking at amateur racing, but when in your journey did you just decide to commit fully to horse racing? Yeah,
so I always wanted to be a vet going through school. Academically, that was never going to be a possibility. My leaving cert was a long shot off anything close to getting into veterinary. So I studied science and went down a kind of a different path. But I always wanted to ride and be a jockey alongside that. So I rode as an amateur all through my college years. And when I finished college, I was very lucky. I got the opportunity to turn conditional, as it's called, or professional, and to give that a go. And look, it worked out, and I'm very glad I did that. I was very lucky that I had a yard to support me in doing that. So yeah, look, I think I just got a bit of a lucky break.
When you're making that decision, did it feel like a risky decision, or you always felt you could go back and do something else if it didn't go the way that everybody hopes, I suppose?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I suppose I was at a kind of a crossroads. Like, I'd finally finished college. I changed courses and failed exams and whatnot. So I was 25 when I'd finally finished college, and I was at a crossroads now, and it was kind of time to either get a real job or, you know, to do something else. I couldn't really, my riding as an amateur wasn't a career, we'll say. So in some ways I felt I had nothing to lose, because you know, it was a risk worth taking, I suppose. You know, if it didn't work out, I could always, you know, try it for 6 months, and if it wasn't working out, I could still, you know, take back my amateur license. But luckily that never happened.
The adrenaline while you're racing must be something else. Can you describe the feeling, or even the feeling at the Grand National last year?
Yeah, it's a fantastic feeling. Like, when you're riding and, you know, the horse is in a rhythm under you. Like, it's like, I don't know, trying to explain to people who've never ridden, like if you've ever been skiing and, you know, you're going down a slope that you're comfortable at going down. It's just a lovely feeling. Like that's what it's like riding horses. It's just a really enjoyable thing to do. And then when things are getting competitive, like it's just a great adrenaline buzz. It's something that you just can't find anywhere else. So I've been told by all the retired jockeys out there. But yeah, it's a fantastic sport to be involved in, and yeah, I feel very lucky.
You recently said that you are looking to defend the title.
Yeah, look, obviously everyone wants to try and win the Grand National again. I'm very lucky to say I won it last year, and everyone lining up down at the start will be trying to do the same thing. So there's so many variables in a race like that. There's so many things that can go wrong, and yeah, look, I'll be down there hopefully at the start like everyone else and giving it our best shot again.
In terms of your goals for the future, you've achieved a lot thus far. What is on the list, and what would be the pinnacle for you?
Yeah, so I actually don't really set myself any major goals. It's just never something I've done, because racing can change so much, and there are so many different things at play. So I just try and take it kind of week by week or even day by day. Try and go racing. I'll be racing tomorrow. It's Saturday, and you go racing tomorrow and just ride as many winners as you can. And yeah, I just take it day by day. I've never looked too far into the future, because if you do that, racing has a way of kind of upscuttling your plans.
Thanks a million for taking the time to chat to us, Rachael. Congratulations again on being the HerSport Athlete of the Year.
Thank you so much.